Welcome back. They are preserving the history and heritage of the men and women of Camp Forrest. We're talking about the Camp Forrest Foundation in Tullahoma. Dr. Elizabeth Taylor joining us now live on the phone. Dr. Taylor, good morning, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I saw on your website that you've been researching Camp Forrest for almost 10 years now. Tell us a little bit more about what piqued your interest and what makes this space, this place, and this history so special to you.
One of the things that piqued my interest, having worked in university administration for 30 years, I had a friend of mine that started telling me about POWs that were brought to the U.S. in World War II. And for all the decades that I had been in college, I'd never heard stories like that. And at his urging, he said, check out Camp Forrest. And here 10 years later, I'm still researching, writing, and lecturing on the topic. There wasn't much out there at the time when I started, so I felt honored that this was a potential opportunity for me to ensure this history is preserved, and especially what the men and women who trained and worked there did for our nation during World War II.
Remarkable. We're sharing some of the images now, Dr. Taylor, and I want you to tell us a little bit more about Camp Forrest, because this is a major World War II military installation, right?
Yes, it was. It served as an induction, training, and prisoner of war facility located on the outskirts of Tullahoma. Camp Forrest proper, the base itself was on 80,000 acres and served as a training ground for infantry, artillery, engineering, and signal units. It was also the logistics hub for the Tennessee maneuvers, which were the simulated war games that occurred throughout Middle Tennessee. There was just constant activity. It was its own self-sustaining city. There were 250 soldiers that received initial physical exams, 70,000 soldiers trained there. We had 800 civilian internees, over 60,000 POWs that were processed, and at its peak, Camp Forrest detained over 20,000 prisoners of war.
Remarkable. It's such a fascinating history, Dr. Taylor, and you all have an opportunity for people to learn more next week at a meet and greet. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, we encourage people to come out. One of my focuses is, in addition to researching and writing about Camp Forrest, is creating traveling exhibits. And our latest exhibit is at the Metro Archives Division of the Nashville Public Library. It's in the West Reading Room on the 3rd floor. And with this exhibit, we're telling the history of POWs in the U.S. via the artwork that they created while they were being detained in the U.S. We take visitors through what happened with over 80 photographs from them being captive to the detainment to life in the U.S. as a German or Italian POW. And then we have almost 100 artifacts of works of art that they created, from drawings and paintings to carvings and metalworks. And from these, we can see the human side of World War II and what our enemy is also portrayed as, that there's more to the story than what our textbooks and documentaries provide to us.
Wow, amazing work that you've done here, Dr. Taylor, and thank you so much for sharing it with the community and talking with us this morning. We really appreciate it. Folks, we're going to have this whole segment on our website. Just go to WKRN.com and look for the Newsmaker tab. We're going to put a link to the Camp Forrest Foundation's website so you can check it out and find out how you can explore and educate yourself on this wonderful, wonderful part of Middle Tennessee. Megan.